Okay, this video is about how to do a password for a door that is locked. So I'm going to come up to the door that I need a password for, and then it's going to prompt me, I need a password to open this door. And I'm going to type in something here, and it doesn't work. It says wrong answer, try again. And I don't know what the password is at the moment, so the door won't open up. Alright, now I gotta find the password. So I know I'll click this key, see what happens, and see behind the key I gained a piece of the password. See right there, this is KNESS. So that's a piece of the password. Now I have to find the other part of the password. Alright, so got the key, let me save him. And that door opens up. I'm going to go through the portal here. Oops, I got the other password. There it is. So the password is going to be darkness there. So I went through the portal and I got the other piece of the password. Now I'm going to open this door up. So the password is darkness, DARKNESS, all lowercase. And there it is. The door opens up. And then you can put anything in there if you want. You can put another room completely where you collect health or weapons, or it could be the next room or whatever you want to do. So I opened that door with the password. So that's how you do it. And then you can notice that the password went away too. So let me show you how I did that. Alright, so the first thing is, let me see, on the main room here, this is where the password door is at, and that door is called cross line get rid of. But I think that's something else I'll talk about in a minute. But it doesn't actually, it's going to be the password door right here. This, I would say this cross line get rid of probably should be at maybe like 5 or something depth. And so now it's saying password door at the bottom there. Alright, because you don't want to show that one. You want that one not to be visible, but it's basically flat on the ground and not visible when you hit it. Let me just talk about this. So the cross line get rid of, when your object player or the end player, that's the next room of course, but when the object player hits the cross line get rid of, it's going to deactivate the last part of the password and the password note. So that's talking about the dark, and then like dark on the first password piece, and the other part is NIS. That's the other part of the piece of the password. That's a note thing that you grab to know what the password is. What happens here, it deactivates it. So I put this one in here just in case, if you knew what the password is, and you didn't grab the password, like you knew what the password was, darkness, before you even collect the papers. So what happens is you type in darkness without collecting the papers, and the door opens up, right? Then you collect a key and you grab the password, part of the password. Then you go through the portal and grab the other piece of the password. Now you have the password note on your screen, and the door is already open because you already knew what the password was. So you go back to the area where the door is already open. You cross this line, get rid of, and it gets rid of the password pieces of paper at the bottom. So that way, if you wanted to add another password, it could be in that spot as well. but that's just a way of getting rid of the paper. Since you already opened the door without the paper, then when you cross that line, it's going to get rid of the 2 pieces of paper when the door is already open. So that's just a thing I added in there, just in case if you wanted to add another piece of password and you want it in that location, you get rid of this password here first, and then another piece of paper comes up on top of that. So this just gets rid of the pieces of the paper. If the door is already open, you already know the password before grabbing the pieces of paper. It gets rid of the password when you cross that cross line, get rid of which is the threshold through that doorway that's already open. So it deactivates those pieces of paper. That's what's happening here. And no longer shows it on the screen. And this is the piece of the paper that I'm talking about. It deactivates that. So it's just width is 70, height is 44, and it's just an image. And I just, I cut it out using Photoshop. And depth minus 1000, so it's on top of the screen. Do a draw event, then you do a coded sheet in the control tab, and you say draw sprint image index 500 by 350. That just puts it in that location at the bottom of all your weapons at the top, or on the side anyways. It puts it at the bottom, so that's the location of it for the X and Y coordinates. And then you do the same thing for the password note for the other piece of paper. So basically you just make one piece of paper, right, and you just cut it up, and you make sure that it's the same height and width. That way it goes in the right spot when you collect the other pieces of paper. So I just did darkness, and then just cut it up and then placed it in this location here for this, and then dark DAR, and then put this piece on that side. So it's the same size and width and all that stuff. That way it goes in the correct spot. Why do I have... Oh, I'm sorry. So password note no, don't make it visible. So you want it in the right spot, 500 by 350. This is like a placeholder right here. Even though it shows that DAR password up here, this is a placeholder that's not visible. So this is before you collect it. This part of it is on the right side, and then the last part of it, no, which is not visible, is on the right side. So it's not visible on screen. It's a placeholder, so when you do collect it, it switches the placeholder to the actual image of the password. So same position, 500 by 350, depth minus 1000, and then you have the actual password, which is minus 1000, and then the same X and Y coordinates. So this is going to be visible on screen once you collect it. So once you collect it, it switches the placeholder to the actual piece of paper. And like I said, this password no, I mean you could do it. You could change that to like a red piece. You can just make that red if you wanted to. You don't have to make it with the actual image. I'm just trying to save image space without adding another image in there. Okay, so that's the placeholders and the password. So it gives you this. It's the same 500 by 350. It's going to be in the same position for KNESS, and then same position as the first part of it, DAR. It's the same X and Y coordinates because it lines up correctly like a puzzle piece on top of one another. Alright, then you have the password door. So once you do a create, then you put in then a coded sheet, and this is going to be just basically flipping this is, I already talked about this, where you flipping the flat object up straight so it looks 3D, and I'm using texture door key, which is in the textures, or actually in the sprints. Go to textures, and then it's going to be a door here. It might be on the backgrounds. Texture door key. Yeah, texture door key. So it's going to be in the backgrounds. Texture door key. So it's going to project that with using this code here. So just flipping it right side up so it looks 3D, looks like a wall, but it's a door. Then when you hit it, this is the code that's going to that I'll give you and put it on YouTube, but it's stating that when you hit the door, it's going to ask you to put in the password. That's what it's saying here. It says get string, and then to unlock it, it's called darkness. You can change this to whatever you want to put in your own code. You could make it, caps if you wanted to, but you sure you have to type it in caps as well. And then with password door, so this password door, I think it's talking about, it's talking about this image right here. This is the image. This yellow image here is what's on bird's eye view, 16:4. This is going to be projected as the door when you play the game 3D. So this password door goes right here with the width, and then when you type in the correct password, it's going to change to object door slide true. So it's going to slide straight up. So when you open the door, it's not going to just blink away or be destroyed. It's going to animate straight up, and I've done that before with another door. So object door slide. I think that's the one that animates. Yeah, see, this one slides up. So animate door 2, animate door 3, then animate door 4, and goes away. So it's using that one, I believe. Texture slide. I can't remember where that object door sliding's at. Well, I'm using one of the images. Probably just going to have to put it in the description to tell you exactly where it was located at, but I think it's one of these images down here. Well, I don't want to waste too much time here because my camera's going to die on me on I'm sure it's using these animations right here because I've talked about it before. But you have to look for object door sliding, which is one of these images here. It's probably not in the backgrounds. It's probably going to be in with the objects here. Here it is, objects door sliding. So it's in with the objects. So it's going to use this one, and is using texture door. Yeah, see, it's animate door 2, then alarm's going to kick on. It's going to do animate door 3, and then alarm 2 is going to kick in, and it's going to do animation door 4. So it's going to start out with texture door, which is going to be one of these images here, texture door. So it's going to be this image right here, right? Which it should have been the one with the little slide here with the key, but it goes so quick and animates so quick that it's not, you're not going to see it. So it starts with this image first, and then alarm 0 kicks in, and this is going to be solid, not moving. And then it's going to start with a texture door, which is going to be solid, shut. And then alarm 0 is going to kick in. Main 2 tab, drag over. Then it's going to change. It's going to project and change to animate door 2. And that's this door right here. It starts going up. And then alarm 1 is going to kick in, and it's going to do animate door 3. So it's animate door 3 goes up higher. Then alarm 2 to 3. So it goes to 2 after 3 milliseconds. Then it's going to do animate door 4, which is going to be open completely now. And then I set the gravity to direction 0, gravity 10. So I think I did the gravity because it makes it go straight up. Gravity. If I did minus 10, that would go straight down, I believe. So I did 10 and set it to relative, so it makes it go straight up. Probably could use the move tab here, but I think I used gravity because it was a lot easier, because I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z coordinates in 3D. And if I use this move fix or this move free, then I'm kind of messing with just the X and Y coordinates, I believe. You have to figure out, you probably want to use the move free more so, because you can use the direction. You have more wiggle room, more freedom with the direction and speed, versus using this move fix, which if you press the arrow up, it's not going to go straight up. It's going to go using the X and Y coordinates, and it's going to go in a different direction other than up. So that's why I use the gravity, because gravity seems to work better in 3D, where it's going to go straight up. Alright, so that makes it go straight up. And then the direction here, I just kept it 0 and speed 0. Same thing with object in player, same information. But and then I have a sound play. It does the gain sound. It does a chime, and then it's going to deactivate both of the pieces of the paper that I grabbed. And if I don't have the pieces of paper and I just put in the correct password, then that's okay too. But once I grab the pieces of paper and go to that door that's already open, it'll deactivate both of these pieces of paper, even though the door is already open. Because you want that to be gone, so that way you can collect another piece of paper, which I just talked about. And then if you don't put the right password in, then it's going to say wrong answer, try again. Alright. And I think that's it. When I go over here and collect the key, okay, so when I collect the cell key, it's going to switch last password no, which is the placeholder I just talked about, to last part password _ yes. So it's going to switch the image that's on screen, that's a placeholder, which you can't see because you haven't grabbed the piece of paper yet. It's going to switch that to one that you can see, and it's going to put it in that same spot as the placeholder. So that's what's happening here. And it's going to play the gain sound, and then you're going to grab the key, of course. So that's the cell key, and then you'll go to the warp. And, well, I got that in a different spot. I went to Object Player, go to Warp. Okay, so he's going to do the jump. So Object Player, collide with the Warp. He's going to do the gain sound, and he's going to jump in that position, 450 by 330. And then he's going to switch the other password node, not no, which is a placeholder, it's not visible. He's going to switch that to being visible on screen. Say yes. And that's what's happening here. So it's going to change the password not no and the last part password no to yes. No is the placeholder, not visible on screen. Yes, it's on this. It is visible, and it's going to change that to true. It's visible on the screen, and it's going to put it in that same spot as the placeholder no. And that's it. And make sure the password door is parented to object wall basics, so that way it's going to be solid. Can't go through it. And this, I guess, just reassures that you're not going to go through it by using the set direction speed. It just enforces that you're not going to go through the door as well. And that's about it. That's how you do the password. And I talked about everything. Alright, and then make sure you put the password placeholders on in the room. Because if we don't put this in the room, it's not going to be on screen when you collect other passwords. And yeah, that's about it. I think everything else I've already talked about everything else. Alright, thanks for watching.